guys, I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm going to dig into the Divine Masculine Collective tonight and see what's going on with the heavy energy that some of them may be feeling. It could be like the dark night of the soul energy. It could be a lot of them are isolating. They're going through a lot where it feels like there's a lot on their plate at once and they really don't have the energy to deal with it. Many of you Divine Feminines, you could be picking up on it as well, where your energy will fluctuate, so it feels like you're doing everything you can possibly do to stay in optimum shape, and all of a sudden the energy of exhaustion will hit you, or you will feel body aches and pains in certain areas, and then boom, it'll just kind of disappear. So these are some of the things that a lot of your Divine Masculines are going through as well. There's a lot of realizations around having to take care of their health, spending more time in solitude, away from a lot of sensitivities, okay? And this will have to do with crowds. Like, many of them can't stomach big crowds anymore because of the static of energy. They're starting to feel the emotions or like the frequencies of other people. They may not be able to put their finger on it. All they know is that I just want to be alone all the time, or I don't want to go out as much. And it's because, they can't handle a lot of output from people. Their energy is a lot more sensitive, okay? So if this sounds like your Divine Masculine, where they're just trying to hide, bunker down, lay low, I just want to get into some of that, and maybe it'll help explain some of the things you've been picking up on as well, Divine Feminine. So I'm going to cut this deck in half. This is my Dark Mirrors Oracle deck, and it'll give us insights into what is happening during those darker moments of your Divine Masculine's experience. Okay, so we have Bride in a Cage. Very interesting. Someone feels trapped, that's for sure. Routines is definitely weighing them down, and if they are in any kind of karmic partnerships or karmic situations, I feel like they're dealing with the realization that they're not in a connection with someone who they're supposed to be with, or who is meant to help them be their highest good or elevate to their highest good. So there's a lot of conflict right now. What this is going to feel like, Divine Feminines, is like short temper, getting irritated over like little things. You might feel sometimes, Divine Feminine, the energy might hit you in your home or your space where you feel like everything is cluttered. Things can't seem to get clean. And then there's days where you feel like, whoa, where did that energy come from? Like when you look around, your home is fine, your space is fine. But from time to time, with this Bride in a Cage energy, you might just feel very trapped in your surroundings, or you could feel like there's too much. The best way I can explain it is just clutter, okay? And also too, just feeling a sense of like trapped in a particular situation and having no way out, okay? Some of your Divine Masculines could have gotten into a contract with marriage, and they're now starting to realize just how much they should not have made that move, okay? I'm getting that heavily with the Bride here. It what's weird? I'm getting like someone got married, and when they look back, they don't feel like they were present during that moment, or they don't feel like they were themselves, or they're starting to look back and they're starting to say to themselves, where was I when that was going on? So that's really significant, guys. Where was I when that was going on? Where was I when I was getting married to that person? Like, why wasn't I fully there? Why am I regretting it so much now? Why do I feel so consumed or trapped in this situation? So lots of stuff coming up. I feel like it could be trying to make their way out of this as well, but it could seem like it's really impossible. The reason it feels impossible is because they know that they're going to also have to adapt a lot more healthier habits to deal with this. Okay, someone's also realizing that they're going to need to sober up. They've had a really bad habit of being under the influence. Maybe that's why they feel like, where was I? Because maybe a lot of your Divine Masculines could have been under like the influence of substances when they decided to go ahead and like get like either engaged or married to someone. And now that they've fully sobered up, I feel like many of your masculines are either quitting smoking, they could be like quitting like hard substances, they could be quitting alcohol, And now that they've been operating within the last few months with like a really sober mind, it's really difficult to grasp their surroundings. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, now that I am sober and I'm looking around at the life I've created, I don't even recognize myself. I feel trapped in this life. So that's some of the heavy stuff, guys, that they're going through, and that will explain why you guys might fluctuate and feel a lot of heavy energy sometimes. It's because there's a lot that's hitting them, especially if many of them are sobering up. Okay, that's a really big message there. Okay, so let's get some other lessons that they may be facing with, just the sensation of feeling like they're trapped. What are some of the things they may have to work on or try to overcome? Okay, so following their purpose is definitely going to assist them, okay, because they are experiencing a lot of conflict and disharmony and triggers, a lot of arguments, especially since they're sober. They may, genuinely feel like, I want to get out of this, or I want to remove myself out of this. So, and that's again where the heavy energy is coming from. You see with these triggers here, remember earlier on I was talking about the feeling of irritation, or the feeling of just being irritated by the little things around you. That is their energy that you're picking up on, Divine Feminine, and there is this craving for them to get out of it because they don't feel like they're fully operating in their purpose or in their full purpose. And it's a really painful experience. Like, I'm getting the feeling of somebody trying to like wrestle around out of a stray jacket, especially with this card here. So that could be the feeling of your divine masculines. Also too, guys, like, I don't know if maybe many of you have been having experiences around like claustrophobia. Like, all of a sudden you might be feeling that come over you, where it's like little waves of claustrophobia coming over you. That could be like another thing that many of your divine masculines could be experiencing, or even you divine feminines, where again they just feel like, how do I get out of this? I've gotten myself into this, but how do I get out? Now, another thing with the cosmic and the purpose card is they're gaining glimpses of clarity over this. That's another big message I'm getting, is that they really are gaining clarity over, first of all, what they've done. I feel like before they weren't really looking at it that way, because most of the time they were operating in like a very low frequency. Because what happens is when we consume a lot of these substances, it's like our soul, it doesn't really get a lot of room to connect. So I feel like a lot of your divine masculines weren't getting a chance to connect with that inner voice that was trying to guide them. But now that they're fully sober, they really are feeling like I'm hearing the words chokehold. Like, somebody feels like they're in a chokehold. And I'm also hearing too, like, a lot of your divine masculines feel a little bit miserable right now. Like, their energy could be very low, where there's days where they can definitely feel like there's a way out, and then there's other days where it just feels like, okay, it's too much, I'm just gonna go along with the ebb and flow of this. And then there's other days where it hits them like, no, you've got to do something, you've got to take action, you got to remove yourself, or you've got to get out of this. Okay, what else could be affecting them on their journey right now? So we have avoidance and we have stalemate, and that's that energy I was talking about, where there are some days where they feel like strategically they know what to do, take it one day at a time, or take it one step at a time. And then there's other days where they avoid taking any action at all, because the exhaustion could be a lot that they're dealing with. And there's the confirmation of the dark night of the soul. So I feel like their best course of action, or their best advice right now, is just continue to stay sober. Many of them may be adopting habits, or like there is this craving to be healthy, or be present, or be grounded with themselves. Like, many of your divine masculines may be craving nature. It's like their body is speaking to them loud and clear. This is what you need to do to get out of this. Because what I'm seeing is affecting them the most right now, guys. And look at this. We have Remember and Awakening at the top of the deck. there is this like inner spiritual warfare that the divine masculines are going through right now, which is their true authentic self versus, it's like this kind of soul snatching energy that I'm getting. It's like their soul has been hijacked into whatever situation this is, and at times there's like this veil pulled over them where they feel like, okay, I'm just on autopilot, I'm just going along with the motions, I'm doing this. But then there's those days where spirit speaks to them through dreams, synchronicities, a deep feeling of knowing and remembering who it is they are, and then they get to fighting. So, that kind of really explains a lot of that shaky energy that many of you have been feeling with them, right? It's like your highs are their highs, your lows are their lows type of thing. This is the kind of spiritual warfare that they've been going through, is that many of them don't feel like themselves. And you know this too, divine feminines, because I feel like you can almost recognize that they're going through a lot of this. Many of you have been feeling the sensation to just walk away and leave it alone. It's their fight, it's their battle. And then there's another side of you that feels like, damn, I gotta at least, hold space or stay steady in some way, because the universe shakes you up as well when they're trying to help the divine masculines remember the journey, remember themselves, because your energy, divine feminine, it really does serve as love, right? It serves as you deserve love. It serves as unconditional love to them. Your energy could serve as playfulness during these really harsh times. It may be that the universe guides you to post a picture, or to come out of hiding, or to pop back up, or to send a message. And during those times, you're going to be so confident and so in your power and so in your strength, at a time where they're not. And they're going to see the magic, and they're going to want to know how the hell you reached out at a time where their soul desperately needed you to, but they couldn't find a way to be able to tell you that. So I feel like you're going to be okay, divine masculines. I know a lot of you are feeling the burden of this tugging at your soul, holding you down, suffocating you in this kind of way, but I also feel like the universe is going to come through and let you touch or feel or sense your divine feminine is close by. Because I feel like your divine feminines have been through this. Okay, in some way, shape, or form, they've been through this energy, but they pulled through when it came to purpose. And now you feel, divine masculines, like it's your turn. And I also feel like, you're feeling like there's no way out. But keep an open mind. You're being called to keep an open mind on this. There is more for you to experience. I feel like the divine masculines are waiting for the divine feminines to breathe life into them again. And I'm going to end off this reading by talking about that song Synchronicity again. Bring Me Back to Life by Evanescence. That is the energy that many of your masculines are going through right now. They are calling out to you. That's why you guys can feel little bits of tug and war of the energy, the toll it's taking on their energetic body to have all of these realizations hit them. They're not being their authentic self, and in order to be their authentic self, they're going to have to literally break down the biggest tower that they've ever built, and it's going to be a sacrifice, but they know that it's going to revive their energy, their health. It's going to reveal their true authentic self, and they're going to be stronger than they've ever been, but again, it comes at a big price. It comes at a great sacrifice. So let's get one more card on what the universe wants the divine masculine collective to know about their journey. What do you need to know, divine masculines, at this time from the universe? Just one or two cards to work with, please, universe. Okay, so commitment, home, family. This is something that I feel will bring them inner peace, okay? Look out for this. Put focus into this, especially if there's children involved. Okay, I feel like you've made a commitment. Maybe that's part of what this remembering and awakening is all about, is that they've made a true commitment somewhere. So they're going to have to search for that purpose or come back to that purpose somehow, because I do feel like You know, I'm getting like commitment to the journey, like commitment to what it is they truly desire for themselves. Maybe even some of them could be craving like a quieter life, I'm hearing, but it comes again at a great sacrifice. Okay, so, you know, I'm hearing this could also be something that they've got to keep a close eye on in terms of going by things the right way. Okay, especially with this caged energy. All right, take it how it resonates, guys. I don't know who this was for tonight, but all is well, Divine Masculines. I love you guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one, okay? Take care, guys. Bye.